What is up, guys, and welcome back to another main channel video. Today we are discussing the next theme for the All Sorts podcast, and before I get started, I mentioned this in a previous video when I did a Sidemen tier list, but thank you so much for getting us to where we wanted to be for that podcast. We got 74 views on it so far for both parts, where we aimed for 50 and we got those 10 likes. So as we hit the 10 like goal, that Emperor Palpatine impression from Josh will be on its way and will be on YouTube Shorts in a matter of days. I just need to remind him to send it to me. So, as I say with every video at the start, all these videos aren't edited, so obviously stuttering, juttering, all that nonsense is always there, and obviously background noise will always be a thing, but that makes videos unique for me. And yes, I'm in my dressing gown today, just because I'm recovering from an event from the other day. So, gonna get straight into it, as it'll be a shorter video, as the podcast that we're going to be doing will be filmed at Josh's house again. So obviously there will be trains in the background like there was last time, but I'm hoping the audio and the video quality was okay for you lot watching. And for any new subscribers who are watching, hello, thank you for joining the channel, and thank you for the support. But yeah, so the podcast is going to be in two parts, maybe 3 parts this time, because we are probably going to be doing two podcasts in one podcast. So one of them is a little bit of a hint. One of them we are leading off from the previous podcast, where we're doing Star Wars themed again. And then the second one is a brand new concept that I've seen trending on YouTube quite a bit, and it is a World Cup bracket of chocolate bars, but I'll get into that in a second. But I was researching on YouTube, YouTube Studio, what things are trending for Star Wars, and I'll mention this again in the podcast, but I will put my hands up and say I have never ever watched this Star Wars genre, but it's highly popular, and it was requested from one of my friends in my podcast a couple of weeks ago. But the podcast for the next one is going to be about the Clone Wars, specifically Star Wars The Clone Wars. And as I said, I have never watched The Clone Wars, and that will probably offend a lot of you, but it offended Josh when I told him. But I've never watched The Clone Wars, so it's going to be a sort of an interview type question thing, quite type educational video for me, but also for you guys as well. So you guys can roast me in the comments as you usually do. But yeah, so it's going to be a fun experience, and that will be the first part of the podcast, where we talk about the Clone Wars, talk about why it's so popular, how it got so popular, the characters, the sequence, like in chronological order, and basically why it blew up the way that it did. The second part of that podcast, after we've discussed the Clone Wars, I should say, is going to be the World Cup of chocolate bars. And it's going to be like a bracket. So it's going to be like a knockout bracket, and I have written the brackets on my phone here, and ready for when it is. And obviously there's going to be a lot of heated argument, because Josh's favourite chocolate bars might be different to mine, so it will be a heated discussion. And finally, before I end this very, very short video, I am finally going to be getting F123. So when I get F123, I will do a review on it from my perspective, like I promised to do for F122, but I haven't gotten round to that yet. But yeah, so I will get round to doing that now. But yeah, that will be the video done. As I said, it's a bit shorter, but this is literally me discussing the podcast themes. But yeah, me and Josh are currently planning it, planning a day for it, and we should be recording it together in a couple weeks or so. I'm off to Goodwood on the 16th of July. Obviously, I've got my mum's anniversary on the 11th of July, and then I'm off on holiday on the 28th. But we should be getting the podcast done at a certain point. But yeah, as I said, shortened video, and prepare yourselves for the next podcast, and I'll see you very soon.